Oil change timing. Your engine is being destroyed right now, and your oil is the reason why. Number 1. Here's a number that should genuinely scare you. 10 to 15%. That's how much old, contaminated oil stays locked inside your engine every single time you wait too long. It doesn't leave on its own. It sits there, mixing with fresh oil the moment it goes in, poisoning it before your engine fires a single combustion cycle. Every moving part, the pistons, the crankshaft, the camshaft, the valve train, depends on clean oil to survive. Heat destroys it. Combustion byproducts contaminate it. Moisture turns it acidic. And the moment engine oil stops protecting, it starts destroying. For most Japanese engines, Toyota, Honda, Lexus, Subaru, the safe window is 5,000 to 6,000 miles. If the oil looks black on the dipstick, if the engine sounds slightly louder than usual, or if that oil warning light has been ignored for a week, you are already past the line. A DIY oil change costs $30 to $60. An engine destroyed by degraded oil costs $4,000 minimum. That math is not complicated. Air filter care. Your engine is suffocating, and most drivers have no idea. Number 2, your engine is breathing right now. Every second it runs. The real question is, what exactly is it breathing? Every combustion cycle pulls outside air through the air filter and into the combustion chamber. Dust, pollen, road debris, microscopic particles, all stopped by one component. When the filter is clean, the engine breathes freely and burns fuel efficiently. When it clogs, the air-to-fuel ratio gets thrown completely off. The engine runs rich. Incomplete combustion pushes unburned fuel past the piston rings directly into the crankcase, contaminating your engine oil before it gets a chance to work. A dirty air filter doesn't just hurt performance, it actively destroys your oil. Most Japanese cars need a new air filter every 12,000 to 15,000 miles. Open the airbox, swap the filter, close it back. 5 minutes, no mechanic needed. Battery terminals. One $5 fix prevents the breakdown most drivers never see coming. Number 3, you're already late. You sit in the car, turn the ignition key, and absolutely nothing happens. Most drivers immediately assume the battery is dead, but half the time the battery is fully charged and completely healthy. The real problem is that white and bluish crust sitting directly on the battery terminals. That is corrosion, and it physically blocks the electrical current from flowing between your battery and your car's entire electrical system. Symptoms build slowly. Sluggish engine cranks, headlights slightly dimmer than usual, dashboard electronics behaving strangely. By the time the car refuses to start, the battery has already been damaged for months, overworking against that resistance every single day. The fix is $5. A wire brush on the positive terminal and negative terminal twice a year. Apply a thin coat of dielectric grease after cleaning to slow future corrosion. 5 minutes. Problem eliminated before it ever becomes one. Japanese oil intervals. Your owner's manual is not written to protect your engine. It's written to protect a warranty. Number 4. Your owner's manual says 10,000 miles between oil changes. In Japan, that number simply does not exist. And there's a reason why. Japan enforces a mandatory government inspection called Shaken, a rigorous biennial audit checking every vehicle's safety, emissions, and mechanical condition. Fail the inspection and the costs are enormous. So Japanese drivers don't wait for problems. They prevent them. Every single time. A 2001 Toyota Corolla, 487,000 miles, original engine, original pistons, original valves. The owner changed his oil every 4,500 miles without missing a single interval for over 20 years. When a mechanic pulled the valve cover expecting sludge, the valve train looked factory new. Zero varnish, zero measurable cam lobe wear. That wasn't luck. That was discipline. Here's the science. Approximately 80% of vehicles operate under severe service conditions, short trips, frequent idling, stop-and-go traffic. Under these conditions, engine oil never fully reaches the temperatures needed to burn off accumulated moisture and unburned fuel. By 7,000 miles, even premium full synthetic oil has lost significant viscosity and accumulated enough combustion byproducts to start accelerating wear. Normal driving, 5,000 miles or 6 months. City driving, 4,000 miles. Turbocharged engines, 3,500 miles maximum. Your manual protects warranties. The Japanese method protects engines. Spark plug replacement. A worn spark plug is silently poisoning your fresh oil from the inside. Number 5. Spark plugs and oil changes seem completely unrelated. They are more connected than most drivers ever realize. Every misfiring spark plug creates weak, inconsistent combustion. Incomplete combustion pushes unburned fuel past the piston rings, straight into the crankcase, directly into your engine oil. Engineers call this fuel dilution. It thins the oil, destroys its protective viscosity, and accelerates wear on every bearing surface and cylinder wall the oil was supposed to protect. For most Japanese engines, iridium spark plugs last 120,000 miles. Some V6 platforms need them at 60,000. The mistake most drivers make isn't waiting too long, it's installing the wrong replacement. Aftermarket spark plugs look identical, but the electrode material, heat range, and gap specification are engineered for a specific engine. One wrong plug means contaminated oil, faster, every single cycle. Pull one out with a spark plug socket. Read the part number off the ceramic insulator. Match it exactly. Never guess. Coolant flush schedule. Old coolant doesn't just stop working, it starts eating your engine alive. Number 6. Most drivers never think about engine coolant until the temperature gauge climbs. By then, the damage is already done. Fresh coolant contains corrosion inhibitors and pH buffers that protect every surface of your cooling system. As those additives deplete, the coolant turns acidic. Acidic coolant eats through rubber hoses, corrodes aluminum surfaces, and destroys the water pump's internal seal and bearing from the inside out. When the water pump fails, coolant stops flowing. The engine overheats. Sometimes, coolant leaks past a blown head gasket directly into the combustion chamber, producing white exhaust smoke, engine misfires, and damage that often ends with a full engine replacement. 50,000 miles or 5 years, whichever arrives first. Hybrid drivers. This includes your inverter coolant too. A coolant flush costs under $30. A head gasket repair costs $1,500 to $3,000. Hot drain method. Every cold oil change leaves the most toxic oil inside your engine. Number 7. Here's something uncomfortable about your last oil change. It probably wasn't finished. Cold engine oil is thick. It clings to cylinder walls, pools in the oil pan, and coats every oil gallery inside the engine block. A cold drain leaves 10 to 15% behind. Leftover oil is the most contaminated oil in the entire engine, and it's acidic. Its total base number is completely depleted. The moment fresh oil contacts it, that acidic residue begins neutralizing the entire additive package. The detergents, the anti-wear chemistry, the corrosion inhibitors, before your engine fires a single time. Japanese mechanics always drain hot. Drive 10 to 15 minutes before the drain. Get the engine oil temperature to approximately 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Hot oil becomes thin and fluid, pouring freely out of every passage and carrying every contaminant with it. Drain immediately after shutoff. Use heavy mechanics gloves, but never skip this step. Pre-flush technique. There is contamination inside your engine that a regular oil change will never remove. Number 8. Before the drain, before the fresh oil, there is one step the Japanese method adds that conventional oil changes skip entirely. With the engine completely cold, add 1 quart of fresh engine oil into the existing old oil through the oil filler cap. Don't drain yet. That quart dilutes the old oil and suspends the contaminants, the sludge on the valve train, the carbon deposits inside the oil galleries, the metal particles at the bottom of the oil pan. Start the engine. Idle for exactly 5 minutes. The diluted oil circulates through every passage, loosening deposits built up across thousands of miles. Shut off the engine. Wait 10 minutes. Everything suspended drains back into the pan, carrying all that contamination with it. Now drain. What comes out is dramatically darker and dirtier than any conventional drain. That's what regular oil changes have been leaving behind inside your engine for years, finally coming out. Double drain technique. After the drain, there is still half a quart of contaminated oil hiding inside your engine. Number 9. After a full hot drain, most people assume the job is done. It isn't. Reinstall the drain plug after the pre-flush drain and wait exactly 30 minutes. During that time, oil still clinging to the camshaft lobes, pooled in the timing chain cavity, trapped inside the hydraulic valve lifters, and sitting throughout the cylinder head, slowly drips down through the oil drainback passages by gravity. It just needs time. After 30 minutes, pull the drain plug one final time. A mechanic who tested this on his own Toyota truck, after what he was certain was a complete hot drain, pulled the plug again and watched an additional half quart of black, contaminated oil pour out. Half a quart, every single oil change, mixing into fresh oil in every conventional service, compounded across hundreds of thousands of miles. That invisible contamination is precisely what separates engines worn out at 150,000 miles from engines still running clean at 450,000. 30 extra minutes. Nearly 100% of old oil removed. That is the Japanese standard. Right oil selection. Most drivers pick the wrong oil and never know the damage it's already doing. Number 10. Every single method above means nothing if the wrong oil goes in at the end. Always use full synthetic engine oil, matching your manufacturer's exact specification. For most Toyota engines, 0W20 full synthetic. For most Honda and Lexus engines, 0W20 or 5W30. Verify on your oil filler cap or owner's manual. And always use an OEM oil filter, never aftermarket. A cheap aftermarket filter uses a universal bypass valve that opens too early under pressure, sending unfiltered oil straight through your engine. Its anti-drainback valve fails over time, allowing oil to drain back out of the filter overnight, creating a dangerous dry start every morning, where your engine bearings and camshaft run completely unprotected for critical seconds at every startup. Stick with proven oil brands. Mobil 1, Castrol Edge, Pennzoil Platinum, or genuine Toyota and Honda branded oil. Match viscosity exactly. Never go thicker. Modern Japanese engines are precision machined to specific bearing clearances that only function correctly with the exact specified viscosity. And no matter what the oil bottle claims, never exceed 5,000 miles. That 487,000-mile Toyota Corolla was not a special car. It was a normal engine, maintained by one disciplined driver who followed every one of these methods at every interval for over 20 years. Your engine can do exactly the same. The 500,000-mile engine is not a myth. It is not luck. It is a result, built one oil change at a time. And now you know exactly how to build it.